Thank you for coming to this virtual presentation of our research on credibility enhancing displays, promote the provision of non-normative public goods. This is a research project that was very interdisciplinary in nature. I'm a marketing professor at NYU, and this was funded under a grant I had with Ken Gillingham, an economist at Yale School of Forestry and Environmental Science. And then Stefan Lamp was one of our postdocs at Yale who moved to Toulouse School of Economics. And we did this research in conjunction with David Rand, a psychologist who's now at MIT, and his former PhD student, Gordon Kraft Todd, who is now at Boston College. The main challenge that we were thinking about was the challenge of promoting adoption by consumers of public goods that are not yet widely accepted. This can be a challenge because most tools that we have for increasing cooperation are only effective for behaviors that are commonly practiced through the leveraging of social norms, or at least behaviors that are widely agreed upon as desirable. So in this paper, we wanted to examine the adoption of non-normative goods, i.e. rare or unpopular behaviors. And to do this, we applied the culturally evolutionary theory of credibility enhancing displays, or CREDs. And the main idea is that behavior is more powerful than speech alone when assessing others' beliefs. Essentially, walk the walk. Our prediction is that people who themselves engage in non-normative public goods behaviors will be more effective advocates for those behaviors than people who merely extol the virtues of those behaviors without actually doing it themselves. To test this, we first used a large-scale field study, and this was using the Solarize Connecticut program. Solarize is a grassroots marketing effort that has been used in a lot of different states. They are 20-week campaigns run by a nonprofit organization within a community. And that community gets a vetted installer by the town, it gets group pricing, and it's really driven by volunteer efforts, in particular by efforts by a few select volunteers, which are called solar ambassadors. And we found that when these solar ambassadors, the community organizers, themselves adopted solar panels through the program, they recruited 63% more residents to also install solar compared to solar ambassadors who did not partake in the behavior themselves. Now, one might say this is simply because some campaigns are better than others, and therefore there's some unobserved shock that leads people to adopt during the campaign in some campaigns, which also then makes it more likely for the ambassador to adopt. To address this issue of causality, we used an instrumental variable strategy in which we instrumented for the ambassador's adoption decision with whether the ambassador's roof was suited for solar, which is a function of pitch, nearby shading by trees, which make it so there's not much sun on the roof, etc. So by using that type of exogenous variation, we were able to identify the causal influence of the ambassador's adoption decision. And this is the main graph of our finding. Again, the main takeaway from that field study was that ambassadors who installed solar panel themselves through the Solarize program are more convincing getting other people to also participate in the program than the ambassadors who did not. Now, we also complemented this field study with 3 experiments to try to verify the causality in a lab environment and also to get more insight into the mechanism underlying the effect. In experiment 1, we used a correlational mediation analysis and found that second-order beliefs explain the effect of the ambassador installation decision on other participants' intention to install. Second-order beliefs essentially are someone else's beliefs about my beliefs. So if I'm a solar ambassador and I install solar, your beliefs about my beliefs of the importance of this activity are increased. In experiment 2, we also wanted to test whether second-order beliefs are the thing that mediated the effect of ambassador's installation. And to test this, we used an experimental mediation design. And again, we found that when the ambassador installed themselves through the Solarize program, the intention of others to install went up dramatically. And yes, it was mediated by second-order beliefs. In experiment 3, we wanted to look at other behaviors beyond solar adoption. So we looked at carbon offsets for flights that you might take, the purchase exclusively of used goods, wearing a face mask when sick, and having a non-grass lawn in more arid environments. And we found with the random effects meta-analysis that all of these behaviors exhibited the same type of result. If the ambassador engaged in the behavior, this increased the intention of others to also engage in the behavior. And again, this was mediated by second order beliefs. So in terms of the marketing relevance, we think that this has a lot of relevance for product adoption by brand ambassadors. If the brand ambassadors themselves are adopting and using specific products, this will change others' beliefs about the quality of the product. In terms of current non-marketing applications, I think this speaks to our leaders' behavior with regards to COVID-19 precautions. If our leaders are engaging in behaviors such as social distancing and wearing masks, this will affect others' beliefs about the importance of these activities through credibility enhancing displays. I want to thank the American Marketing Association again for giving us one of the AMA EB SEO Responsible Research and Marketing Awards, and also for providing us the opportunity to present this paper here at the Summer AMA. And I'd like to thank you all for your time.